It's a place many black people say they will never go.
I wouldn't even go fishing out there.
What looks like a pretty lake is believed to be tied to some ugly history, and some say bad things are happening to people because of it. I'm Justin Carter, this is TSR Investigates. We went around Atlanta asking black people, why don't you go to Lake Lanier? It's the biggest lake in Georgia. It's right outside of Atlanta, about an hour away. People go there to boat, fish, party, have a good time. But it's what's underneath the lake that some people have a problem with.
Nah, man, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I wouldn't even go fishing out there.
Brave BARNETT has lived in Atlanta his entire life, and Lake Lanier is not typically on his fun list.
People jumping off the boat and drowning. You know what I'm saying?
About 14 million people visit Lake Lanier every year, so it is inevitable that bad things do happen there. Boat accidents, fires, drownings. Even just in April, 24-year-old pro basketball player Dorian Pinson drowned after jumping off of a rented pontoon boat. Even this viral video, a young girl dancing on a boat, just slips right off.
So far this year, we've had 7 drownings on Lake Lanier. Last year, we had 7 in total for the whole year.
Mark McKinnon works for the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. The 176-foot lake is their responsibility.
You know, our goal is just to try to give people the information that they need to keep their families safe. And then it becomes personal choice.
A choice that Carlos Mallory says was easy to make when she was planning a yacht party for her birthday one year.
My daughter, told me that she heard about the drownings, and so then it kind of scared me. And when she told me that, I changed my mind.
There's a lot going on underneath Lake Lanier.
Old homes, old buildings. There are a lot of trees on the bottom of Lake Lanier.
Experts say the government was reckless back in the 1950s. They just dumped water on top of empty towns to make Lake Lanier what it is today. Lisa Russell wrote about it in her book. It's called Underwater Ghost Towns. Why would officials back then build a lake on top of a town and not do their due diligence to make sure it was done correctly, like other lakes here in Georgia?
Well, there really wasn't like a rule book. There was a lot of graves underneath every one of the lakes. There were family graveyards, African-American graveyards that weren't marked, slave graveyards that weren't marked. So when they go to start, surveying the land, they tried to find all the graves and move them. They did a lot, but they didn't move every one of them.
Graves, even of black people who used to own land and live around Lake Lanier. One town called Oscarville was turned upside down when something bad happened in 1912.
A white woman who lived in Oscarville named May Crow was found beaten and bloody in the woods, and she was 18 years old, and she eventually died of her wounds.
Stanford professor Patrick Phillips is from that area and started digging into what happened for his book. It's called Blood at the Root.
Suspicion soon fell on the only young black men in the area.
The 3 accused black men, Rob Edwards, Oscar Daniel, and Ernest Knox, were all lynched because of it.
It seems very, very unlikely that they had anything to do with it.
Phillips says blacks were forced out anyway.
White mobs intentionally created a wave of terror and just fear among the black families of the county. And the result was that the entire black population of Forsyth County fled. When there are no more people of color left in the county, the whites of Forsyth declared that this was now a white man's county forever after.
We saw it not long ago during race marches in the 1980s, white people holding up signs that say Forsyth County stays white, and even a picture of a noose. Things are considerably better now, although white people still make up over 90% of the population where Lake Lanier is. It's a reason, though, many people decide to stay away.
And the emotional truth is it is a place that has been dangerous for black people for a very long time. And that is real.
State officials say that sometimes it's so hard to find victims' bodies because of all the trees and objects underneath Lake Lanier's surface. They do say that if you follow the safety rules and wear a life vest, you'll be okay. But ultimately, they say, it's your choice. For TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter. Hello, roommates, and thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Do you want more TSR Investigates? Be sure to subscribe and check us out at theshaderoom.com.